Let you know, man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me out, bro.
What's going on, family? You guys are so amazing. I'm Mr. AOS Inspires. This is AOS the podcast. I'm crazy excited because I think that this episode is really going to help you out in your relationship because, we've been getting some feedback. And it's been pretty good. It's been pretty regular. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you that's been subscribing to our YouTube channel. I don't know where you're listening to this at, watching this at. You could be watching this reel on Facebook. You could be watching this episode on YouTube, or you could be watching on TikTok or Facebook. Or you're listening to it on the podcast, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, AOS the podcast. That's where we are. So this is what I want to tell you. If you're on YouTube, matter of fact, do me a favor. If you have not subscribed on YouTube yet, I think currently right now we're at like 355. I want to get to 1,000. We need to get to 1,000. And the reason I don't want to just get to 1,000 because I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. I don't know. You may be in an Uber or Lyft right now, or somebody's listening to it real loud on their phone. Go follow us on YouTube right now, AOS Inspires, right? So the reason I want you to do that is because, for the simple reason, is that when we in fact get monetized, we can begin to throw you regular videos and exclusive videos. Like, I want to get monetized to the degree where we can sit down and be in the studio every single day and just pump out 2 major videos a day. Like, I really believe that we can get there with your help. We can really get there. And that's the whole reason, because I believe that we have a message here at AOS the podcast to empower the world to never give up. I believe that the message that we have will really transform and change your lives forever, like for real. Like, so many people have been saying, listen, man, the podcast has been crazy helping me. Like, it's really been helping my relationship. Like, you've been posting some stuff that not only has stepped on my toes, but has stepped on my girl toes. Or I have some females say, listen, you have stepped on my toes and my guy toes. Like, people just all over been like, yo, you've been helping my person. Like, for real, you've been helping me as well. So that's our mission, is to empower the world to never give up. We want to get into some deeper conversation as well, as far as financial literacy. I've got a couple millionaires. I cannot wait. I got a couple millionaires that I'm gonna just give you a breakdown real fast. Just let me live right quick, y'all. I'm excited, right? So I got a few millionaires that we're setting up times and schedules now to sit down and interview them and talk to them about their journey, about how they acquired their first couple $1 million. Like, they're multi-millionaires. Like, I can't wait. I'm not gonna tell you what industry they're in. You just got to stay connected. Matter of fact, when we get to the 50th episode, I'm gonna have a crazy guest. Like, you ain't see this coming. So, but I just want to let you know about that surprise. But I just can't wait to interview these multimillionaires. Some good friends that have really shared some jewels that I believe that's going to change your life, right? I don't want to just talk about relationship. Like I told you, here at AOS the podcast, we talk about relationship, we talk about life, and we talk about entrepreneurship. And the entrepreneurship that they're going to talk about, bananas. I was like, wait a minute. So you're opening up another one? Like, this is already doing multi-million. So you're going to open, okay. I got you. Hey, matter of fact, do me a favor. I need you to get on a podcast. So I can't wait to set that up. We're searching for a venue now. If you didn't know, we're in D.C., District of Columbia. We're in Washington, D.C. That's where we reside right now, currently. So listen, if you know any entrepreneurs, anybody with an amazing story that's in D.C., I need you to tell them to inbox us. Our team will get with them. We'll listen to their story, and we'll just make this thing happen. I can't wait to keep this ball rolling. But also, outside of the multimillionaires that we have, I talked to one of the future guests on the podcast today, and his category is life. Like, it's crazy how his story is unfolding and how his story is bananas. I can't wait to sit down and talk to him so that he can share his trials, his tribulations, his triumphs, how God has allowed him to emerge from the guy had a stroke. Right? Had a stroke because of a personal decision. Like, I ain't gonna tell you too much, but he had a stroke because of a personal decision that he made. But it's crazy. It's very inspiring. I talked to him today for about, I think we talked on the phone for about 30 minutes before I had a business phone call come in. And he was just sharing some stuff with me. And he's been a major supporter of the podcast. I mean, he listens to our podcast faithfully every single Wednesday, 8 a.m. He on it. He's watching it live. I mean, he's just on sharing it. He shares all of our posts. I can't wait to have him on AOS the podcast so that he can share his testimony and also share his story, because I truly believe that his story is very interesting, that it's going to impact some people's lives. Matter of fact, it's going to impact all y'all lives, because this is the thing, and I'm going to get started. This is the thing. Many people are battling with things that they're keeping quiet. Like, our mission is to empower the world to never give up. I want some guests that's going to empower you. Be like, yo, I'm going through the same exact thing. Like, I'm dealing with that. I want to help you. So on today, let's go ahead and get started. This episode is brought to you by Winning After a Major Loss. I need you to go grab your copy, Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. Winning After a Major Loss is the publication that we published in 2016. We have sold hundreds of copies of that book. So I need you to go get that book. Some people said that has helped them survive their marriage, has helped them leave divorce court, right? And I've had some people have won after their business folded. They opened up another business, now it's successful, right? Some people said, listen, your book has helped me not commit suicide. Like, I wanted to kill myself last night, but reading your book, it really changed my mind. So I need you to go get that book. That book is guaranteed a life changer. If you don't think it's life changing, I give you money back. I promise you. I guarantee you can hear it right now. But let's go ahead and get started, fam. I miss you guys. What up, though? How y'all doing? Like, how is everybody? Now, I'm going to just say that for another podcast. But how's everybody been doing? I can't wait. I can't wait to dive deep into this podcast, this episode on today. Now, today, I want to directly talk to relationships. And the reason I want to talk directly to relationships, I want to help us out real fast, because so many people are in relationships and they're like, hold on. I heard you talk about the attitude. I heard you talk about the money. I heard you talk about all those things. But my person, like I don't have no attitude. I don't talk to him disrespectful. I don't talk to her disrespectful. Like, that's not the case. But it's just something is not right about my relationship. Like, it was on an uphill in the beginning of the year, but now it's like, and I know that we're only 2 months into the new year, and it's like it's on a decline. I don't know. I'm glad that you have this issue, because I want to be the one to help you navigate through this moment, right, that you're in. So this is the biggest one right here. Like I'm gonna just go ahead, and you already see the thumbnail. You already see all the things. Have your person, or have you mentally checked out of the relationship? That's what we need to talk about on today. Have you or your person, like, I'm not saying cheated, like this, I'm doing another podcast talking about cheating exclusively, right? But this one is really dedicated to those that say, listen, I haven't cheated, my person haven't cheated, I believe, hasn't cheated, but it's just the dynamics in our relationship is like, it's something's not right. They're not touching me the way they used to. Right, our intimacy level is not the way that like the public display of affection is not. We don't hold hands in public no more, right? I'm showing my age, but we don't hold hands like we used to. We don't kiss like we used to. There's an element missing, and perhaps let me suggest this to you right now. Possibly your person has mentally checked out of the relationship. Or better yet, you're saying, hold on, I noticed something different. They keep on nitpicking about this, and I don't know what's going on. Like I love my woman, but I've checked out mentally. And that's one thing that a lot of relationships have suffered from, right? Like, you can suffer from mentally checking out of a relationship. Now, what does that look like? Let's dissect that, and let's break that down. Let's slow the train all the way down. What does that look like when I mentally check out of a relationship? This is what it looks like. I will go through the motions. I will act like everything's all cool, but my energy level is not as high as it used to be, right? So I don't go out the way to take you out. I don't go out the way to bring flowers. I don't go out the way to show my displays of love publicly or privately, right? Like, I've mentally checked out of this relationship, right? Now, before we get to the end of this video, I want to tell you there is hope. I'm going to give you a few tips that I believe that if you start implementing those tips today, that it will help you get out of this funk that you're in of being mentally checked out. We'll get to that later. But you're like, hold on, man, I'm mentally checked out. She has, he has, whatever your situation is, has mentally checked out of the relationship. I didn't know that until you just said it, that they're mentally checked out. Now, a bulb just went off in your head, like maybe that's what it is. Like it's not the job, it's not money because we have pretty decent flow coming in. It's not that we don't go out because we go out all the time. That's not it. They have mentally checked out. And as I said, what does mentally checked out mean? Mentally checked out simply means that they will go through the motion and they will keep on doing everything that you normally do. Everything. I mean, even down to the sexual experiences. You're like, hold on, we're still doing it. You know, married couples, we're still doing it, but it's not the same. Like it's like I can't put my finger on it. I know that's what you're saying. I can't put my finger on it. They mentally checked out. Because you can do all these things, sex, you can do go out, date night, everything, talk, right? We can sit down and watch a movie together and you're like, hold on, we don't argue or at all. Or you may be on the other side of the spectrum and it's like, it's always an argument in my house for petty stuff. Listen, I need y'all to pay close attention, especially when you're arguing over petty stuff. Like, now, I'm not talking about the big stuff that you argue about. I'm not talking about the major stuff that normal relationships argue about. But she's arguing about, or he's arguing about, so you ain't gonna put no paper towels back in the bathroom. Now, this creates a huge argument, right? That's that. This could be, and let me suggest, this could be the cases of they have mentally checked out. Now, I get it. So what does that really look like? An example, right? So they come home. Now, like as I said, I'm talking to those that have not cheated. I'm talking to those that are not thinking about cheating, right? So because mentally checked out of anything, mentally checked out of a relationship, let's look at this. How many of y'all have, okay, at the end of the school year, right? Everybody been in school. But at the end of the school year, it just gets so exciting, especially for middle school, high school students, like, you know, 9th through 11th grade. You're excited. Why? Because now I get out of school and now I can go and have fun and do whatever it is that we do during the summer months. I'm out of school. I'm not obligated to do homework, projects, papers, research papers, nothing. Right? So what has happened is the last week of school, or generally the last 2 weeks of school, especially when you know all your grades are in, and you know, I already passed this class, I already passed to the next grade, I'm already graduating. You have mentally checked out these last 2 weeks, right? Like everything, you still go through the motion. And I think this is the best example. You still go through the motion of school. You still go through the motion of going to class. You still go through the motion of doing all the work that you're supposed to do in class. But for some reason, you have mentally checked out. Why? Because mentally, watch this. Here it is. This is the transition. Mentally, you're not at the place where you ought to be. Mentally, you're not there physically. You're there physically. Let me take that back. You're there physically, but you're not there mentally. Mentally, your mind is somewhere else. And I'm gonna tell you this, to be honest with you, this is a dangerous place to be in a relationship. Like if your person has mentally checked out, that is a dangerous place. Why? Because now I'm saying that, as I said, I'm talking to the people that hasn't cheated or not thinking about cheating. But what happens is when you check out mentally, the next step after you have checked out mentally and you don't see no progression, nothing has changed, nothing has increased, nothing has gotten better. It just seems like it's all going downhill from here. Next step is cheating. Unless you have a person that's a stand-up person that be like, listen, before I cheat on you, I'll end this relationship before I cheat on you. I will not cheat on you. I'm going to end this relationship and you go your way, I go my way. But I just want to share with you because, and the reason I'm doing this video is because a lot of people, the reason I'm doing this podcast, this episode, is because a lot of people think that, okay, they've mentally checked out or something is not right. I'm going to let it fix itself. No. In relationships, things just don't fix itself. Like you have to approach this thing head on. Like we got to sit down and talk about this thing. Like it's nothing that's going to just repair itself without us giving some attention to the issue. There's an issue in our relationship, and we both need to pay attention to this thing. Like, I need to tell you what's on my mind. You need to tell me what's on your mind. We need to work this thing out together. However, most relationships, especially men we have a hard time of expressing our emotions. Like I've seen so many cases where the man is mad about something, but you really can't tell because of his actions. So he bottles everything in. And I want to share this with you. Let me throw this out on the table real fast. This is one of the reasons why many people check out mentally in relationships, is because the very thing that's bothering you, you're allowing it to harvest in. And you're not letting it out. And what happens is, this is why when you check out mentally, it leads to the small, minute arguments over stupid, silly stuff. It's because I have allowed the big issues to be hidden in. You don't know nothing about that. You don't know that I'm mad about something you did major last week, but I'm acting as if nothing has ever happened. I'm acting as if this thing is going to fix itself, and it's not. So what happens is, I'm holding this big issue in, and now this big issue is now growing. What's this big, right? But now it's football size. Now it went from football size to box size, from box size to now almost TV size, because I did not address the issue that bothered me from the beginning. Now what happens? Instead of addressing the big issue, now I address the issues that so you mean to tell me you're not gonna put a trash bag? You trifling. You're not gonna put a trash bag in the trash. You are so trifling. How you gonna take the trash out and not put a trash bag back in the trash can? Now I done threw some stuff in the trash can. Now I got the trash can all dirty and messy and wet. Now I gotta take the stuff out the trash. Y'all see how it goes? Now I gotta take the stuff out the trash can, clean the trash can, put the trash bag in, when you could have did it from the beginning. Small, minute. I just came in the house. I took the trash out. Once I came back in the house, I was gonna put a trash bag in. What are you talking about? Because I did not address the bigger issue, the larger issue that was really bothering me. So now, watch this. The small issues became a huge issue, but the small issue really wasn't an issue because the big issue was in a way that I don't want to address, because I feel that it's going to fix itself. Now, let's get back on course. So what happens is, when a person has mentally checked out, right? They have not talked about the issue. The next step is one or two stops, right? Either they're going to leave, depending on what type of person they are, or you may be in such a sweet situation. Listen, I know this is going to help somebody out today. I know this is. And matter of fact, this is what I need you to do. If you know somebody that's going through an issue in their relationship, maybe one of them have mentally checked out, maybe both of them has mentally checked out. Share this podcast, this episode with them so you can help them, because there's some jewels in this thing. So, either one or two things are going to happen. Either they're going to cheat, or they're going to leave, depending on the type of person. Now, let's deal with the person that's going to leave, right? You have a person that's, I can't even say stand up. I can't even really say that, because I don't know the dynamics of the situation of why they're actually leaving. But the person that leaves may feel in their mind like, listen, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to make myself look bad, right? They're being more responsible. I'm going to say that. Because I've seen situations where either one of the partners have stepped out sexually, came back, caught something, and gave the person that they're mainly in a relationship with, they gave them something, an STD, right? So this person is being more responsible. Like, listen, I'm not going to cheat on you, but I think that it's best that we go our separate ways, right? Whether it's marriages or whatever, right? They're going to be a stand up. Like, I want you to be happy, but... And this is the thing. Once you get to this table and you're like, listen, I'm not happy. I want you to be happy. We should go our separate ways. What's damaging is you still haven't talked about the big issue that's bothering you. And you're lying if you say there's nothing bothering you. So why are we breaking up? Why are we going our separate ways? If there's nothing bothering you, why are we going our separate ways? You're lying. And this is the biggest thing too with the person that's leaving, right? Most people that just walk away from a relationship that they don't want to do any damage or cheat, nothing like that, sometimes they may have their eyes, not necessarily meaning that they're cheating, right? They didn't cheat. They may have their eyes somewhere else, and they want to close this chapter first before they move on to the next chapter, which is very responsible, right? Which is ethical, right? But The damaging part about that is the issue that you have, that they have with you, is going to be a totally different or maybe a similar issue that they have with somebody else in a new relationship. Now, what's going to happen is this issue is going to perpetuate itself. Why? Because I'm not willing to sit down at the table and lay it all on the table. Because there was some, I tell relationship couples all the time, this is what I need you to do. When you get to a place where you're like, I want you to go your way, I'm done with you, I need you to recollect and go back to the place when you fell in love with this person. Like, remember, why did you fall in love with this person? And I love the Tyler Perry movies. Of course, it says, take a paper, write all their goods and their bads on one side, and the other side write the goods, and one side write the bad. I get it. If the good outweigh the bad, stay together. I love that point. I love it. Now, with that, it does make you dig deep to really do an analytical study of your relationship. Like that's real. Check out the pros and the cons about your relationship. I'm not saying if the bad outweigh the good, leave. That's not what I'm saying. However, what I am saying is most people will forget the great things that you have done, but they will keep in the forefront of their mind all the bad stuff that you've done. Bars. I ain't said that in a while, but I got to say it today. Bars. Most people will forget the great that you have done and remember all of the bad, the negative that you have done or that you're doing. They forget about the stuff that you did 10 years ago right? They forget all this, the good, like they forget the time when you had to go pick their child up from daycare and you left your job where you could have got fired. They forget that. Or they forget the sacrifices that you've made in the beginning of the relationship to help them out financially and didn't look for it back. All because you wanted them to be in a good space. Or they forget about all of the sacrifice that you made. Ladies, you let him use your car when he didn't have one. Maybe he lost his car. Maybe his car got repossessed. And you're like, listen, all you gotta do is drop me off at school or drop me off at work and just pick me up later when I get off. You can have the car all day. Do what you need to do. They forget about that. They forget about all the great things that you have done, bars. They forget about all the great things that you have done, but they remember all the bad things. Now, let's move on to the second part. So you got the person that will stay. Then you have this person that's going to cheat. Now, I'm not killing the person that's cheating. Now, I don't condone it. I don't agree with it. Like, it's real. I've seen too many cases where one person steps out and cheats and messes with somebody else and catch something and then come back home, bring it back home. Now you got a traveling STD. Like I would rather for you to be like, listen, I'm done. You go your way, I go my way. And I think this is the best thing to do. I would rather for you to do that than to step out and catch something, bring it back to me. Now I'm an innocent bystander. That's not fair. But let me break down the mindset of the cheater, right? Not necessarily meaning that the cheater is bad. However, the cheater understands, I got a good situation here. Like, we have mentally checked out of this relationship, but we have a great situation. We have a great system going on here. We bought a house or we got an apartment. Our money put together helps funds the bills, pay the bills, right? And I still have a good portion of my check left over where I can do things I need to do. And same way with the other person. They have a good portion of their check left over where they can do what they need to do. And it's just a great operational system. You have a great situation going on. So, and most people that cheat feels as if they would not get caught. Now, if a person gets caught and they're sloppy, that means they got to the place where they didn't care. That's it. They just, I don't care if the person catch me. I'm ready to get out. So if you feel like that, why don't you just leave? Why? Now, I'm going to tell you this. That's a different heartbreak. Like, you catching somebody cheating and they don't care versus a person just coming to you and say, listen, before this relationship gets damaged even more, I think that it's best that you go your way and I go my way. The heartbreak that's two different heartbreaks, right? Like, a heartbreak of a person leaving, yeah, that does hurt. That does changes your life. But when you catch somebody cheating, that hurts even worse. Like, that's a dagger in the heart. But this person that cheats, they feel as if I have a great situation going on. We got a great everything great. We got the kids, got the money, we take vacation, and the person that they're cheating with, it doesn't work out like this all the time, but the person that they're cheating with, they're like, listen, you got a situation going on. I'm cool. I'm just here for the benefits. I'm just here to go out. We do what we do. Hey, I don't have to worry about you calling, like, where you at? What you doing? Who you with? I gotta worry about that, right? So a lot of people love that type of situation. That's why some side chicks don't mind being the side chick, or the side dude don't mind being the side dude, because it's not a lot of responsibility. Now, I've got to give you a solution to fix all of this, because this is a big mess. It's crazy. It's a crazy mess of a person that's mentally checked out. And you would say, if you're, I can't even say responsible enough. If you're mature enough, you should be like, you know what? I'm just going to walk away. Most people are not. But you're looking at a situation. I'm going to talk to this group of people now. This group of people are saying, listen, we've both mentally checked out, but I really wanted it to work. Like, they're a really dope person. We're a really great team together. That's why we're really staying together, because we work well together. I don't want to leave. They don't want to leave, but the relationship is just not as exciting as it used to be. All right, so here it is. This is what I want to tell you. It's a few things. Start jazzing up the relationship. Because I tell people, relationships, and people look at this and say, hey, suppose I don't want to get married first and then have sex when we get married on the honeymoon, because suppose they are bad at sex. I tell people this all the time. Sex and a relationship is all about what you make it. Because you got to realize this, sex is predicated upon how you perform and how you feel about a person. Period. That's what it all boils down to. It's not about skill. It's not about how well or however this looks. No, it's not about that. It's all about based upon how you view this person, how you feel about this person, and how well you perform. And the reason I say that is just like this. If it's something that you want to do, like, for example, I love going to the movies, right? However, but if you're a person that don't like going to the movies, you'll go, but it won't be enjoyable with you. Why? Because you really don't want to go. You're not going to be as excited. Same way with sex. Same way as being in a relationship. The energy that you bring to the table is the energy that they will receive. Have you ever met a negative person that's always negative, is always down, but when they're not negative and when they're not complaining, it seems like you guys can talk about everything and you guys get along, but soon as they come with that negative attitude and complaining, it's like, man, you know what, get away. I don't got time for you. I can't. Same thing, the energy that you bring to the table is what will be received. So I would say this, jazz up, be romantic again. And so many people have a difficult time when you've mentally checked out being romantic, because possibly it's the way that they have said some things or they have done some things, right? That has made us get to this place in our relationship of being mentally checked out, right? I got a few more minutes, I'm gone. So I would say romance. Like, do something spontaneous that you normally don't do. Bring some flowers, right? When they get home, make sure that the bed is set, like some flowers are on the floor. Make a scene for them that will make them feel special. This is a big key. People always respond to when you make them feel special. Anytime you make somebody feel special genuinely, it changes their whole demeanor. Like, I don't want you to be mentally checked out in your relationship. Right? Because truth of the matter is, you do have a good person. You really do have a good person. But in a relationship, it takes two people to make the relationship work. So I need you to spice some things up, not just sexually, right? Spice some things up. Like, do something spontaneous. Take them to a place. Better yet, let me give you the free 99 move. Go to Groupon and find a trip that you can take and just be like, hey, listen, do this. Pack your bags. We're going somewhere. Period. Leave it at that. If they don't like surprises, because my wife hates surprises, I don't care. This is a surprise. I'm not telling you what's going down. So what you do is do that. Go to Groupon. You get your trip, $1,400, $1,100, all exclusive trip, all included. Find something that will put a smile on their face. And I need you to be creative. Now, this is the last tip and I'm gone. Give them a gift every single day. Watch. Not a gift that you buy, but I need you to get a gift that you make, right? And I need you to put some thinking into this thing, because you need to bring the spice back into your relationship. You need the person, both, I don't care if it's male or female, they need to feel as if they're special and they're wanted and loved. Those major, whether it's a man or whether it's a woman, it doesn't matter. We like to feel special. We like to feel loved. So I would say get them a gift every single day. And if you don't have the money to go out every day, bam, that's cool. Get them a gift Monday through Friday. And on Friday, take them out. Save your money. Do what you need to do. Maybe you need to do some Uber Eats. Go do some Uber Eats, save that money, take them out to eat. Take them to a nice restaurant, right? It is what it is. Live in your budget though, but do what you need to do. So I would say find a card, right? Or better yet, get a poster card. Go to the Dollar Tree, get a poster card for $1. And I need you to go to Walmart, print out some old pictures of just you and them when you first met, right? And post the pictures. This is one of my favorites, and I'm going on this one. I got no more tips for y'all. Get some candy or something that you can buy from the store that's really inexpensive and write a sentence. Like, for example, this is what you write on the cardboard, right? You remember that time that money was tight and we were in a crunch? And get your crunch bar. You guys get my drift. And let the candy or let the very things that they love the most spell out the words of the card or the message that you're trying to relate to them. Do something creative like that that'll put a smile on their face. It's cool. You can go and buy them some J's. You can go buy them some jewelry. Like, you can go spend some money. But when it's something creative that you do, it makes them look at you a lot differently. I'm talking about when they have mentally checked out the relationship. I need them to check back into the relationship because for real, you got something good going on. I don't want you to miss it. I love you guys to life. That's my time. This is the episode. I hope that you guys love this episode because I love bringing it to you. I can't wait to see you guys again. As I said before, go to YouTube, stop what you're doing after this video, after this podcast. Go to YouTube right now. Hit the subscribe button. Do that for me for real. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers because I want to bring content to you every single day. Matter of fact, I want to do it multiple times a day, 7 days a week. I want to post 2 times a day, 7 days a week. I want to be able to do that. And the only way we could do that is if we monetize. If we get to that level financially, where we can have enough finances coming in for the whole staff. Like, I want to do that. I want to make that commitment to you so that we can empower you to never give up. I love you guys. This episode, I got to tell you this episode is brought to you by Winning After a Major Loss. It's the book that we published in 2016. The publication, we sold hundreds of copies of that book. Winning After a Major Loss. It has helped so many people all across the world. People like, listen, this book right here, that's that book, Winning After a Major Loss. I love you guys. I'm Mr. AOS Inspires. This is AOS the podcast. I'll catch you guys another time. Let's go.
Man, you are really encouraging me, motivating me, inspiring me. God is really using you to help me out, brother.